welcome to the channel. Streak Philippines, just showing you some ongoing widening and drainage work. Last time I come through here, it was all torn up. Now we can actually walk through here, and this just shows how we can get through with our e-bikes. You know, this is a big low spot with really big floods, and the reason for that is they raised MacArthur Highway, and they raised farther down this road, and so everything was high, and then this thing flooded up to 2 feet deep right here. It's really tough when it rains. So now, once again, they're tearing businesses up and they're widening the road. This is what they always do in the Philippines, because the traffic is heavier every single year, and the more you raise the roads, the more flooding there is on other roads, which means you need to raise those roads, and it's really an endless cycle. But we'll just take a little walk down here and I'll show you. Sometimes it actually puts businesses out of business when they widen roads. Sometimes it just totally eliminates the sidewalks. You just never know. I often wonder how the businesses are compensated, and especially houses along the side many times become inundated with water due to raising the road. And I don't know what the answer to that is, but it's just about every road you go down, if you're here for a couple of years, you will find that they're raising the road. Always raising the road. Now this drainage, the way drainage works here is the water goes through those little slots in the sidewalk. Okay, and also in some drains along the road. The drains on the road are almost immediately blocked up, as are these little grooves. They're usually just packed solid with dirt. So it's unusual for the drainage to work anywhere. Some businesses are still able to operate, I see, with boardwalks. That's the way you get in your business. You know, a couple of years ago, there was an e-bike store along MacArthur, and MacArthur was being raised, and it took so long that the store just went out of business because there was a big ditch full of water and construction, and at some point there wasn't even a way to cross it to the business. So the answer to that is bankruptcy. But this is how the drainage works. It's well intentioned, but it seldom works. Now, at least we're able to get through here. And this, again, is an example of how on bicycles or our pedal assist e-bikes, which are just glorified bicycles with a little bit of power, we can go anywhere. If we can walk through, you can get our e-bikes through also. Well, Osave is still in business. I guess they got a little reprieve, maybe because they're a bigger owner. Hello.
Hello.
Now, what's going to happen to the basketball court here? That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. And what's going to happen to the rest of the market? It looks like they're going to leave the market alone. You know, that's a funny thing about widening the road. Sometimes you widen the road for a space, and then there's something that you really don't want to mess with, so they leave it. And you might go half a block, and then you start widening the road. And oftentimes also there's a lot of utility lines that stay in the road. Actually, they don't get moved. They stay in the road. So you have to drive along the wider part to the utility pole, as you can see down there. Now, will they change this? I don't know whether they will or not. You just never know. There's some places on MacArthur Highway that still have utility poles in the highway, in the road. Now, what usually happens when they have that situation is that you have a lot of parking along the side of the road, so people really still don't use it for an extra lane. It's kind of crazy. This is a wet market. It's a wet market in Gaginto. And a little bit of a rocky road there to get in. Maybe I'll walk down along the market this time. Ooh, there's a cat. Wow. As you can imagine, when they're doing this construction work, usually they leave one lane open, but this time, since they're widening the whole road and it's narrow anyway, they basically close the whole thing. Looks like we got a cat here. Hello. Pakwan looks good. Watermelon. Okay, well, this is a lot higher. This ought to be good for a year or two till I have to raise the road again. Now, I still wonder when all of this gets blocked up with dirt and debris, because in the Philippines, everything goes on the ground. If you got a McDonald's wrapper or a chicken box, goes on the ground. Everything goes on the ground. There's really no anti-litter push. Doesn't work. And so that's one of the problems with the drainage. Also plugs up immediately. Now also, I don't know where some of the water, when it doesn't rain, this is also frequently flooded. So it has to be from the river, which is many blocks away, but I don't even know how it gets here, and I do not understand it. Because this now is flooded frequently year-round. But just not 2 feet deep, but, you know, an inch of water on the road. Well, I see another boardwalk there I can cross to my bike. There's Josie. And there's MacArthur Highway. Will we be able on January 2 to traverse MacArthur Highway in our dreaded pedal assist e-bikes, which are supposed to be totally banned? And you won't be seeing any videos of us on any major highways, because they're not going to catch me like some of these people. Some of these people make stupid videos and then they get arrested for something they posted. Not me. Not me. So we're going to play it cool for a while when the big band comes in and see how see what we do before we put our toes in the water again. It's a rocky, wet road in the Philippines. Whoa. Okay. Where's he going here? Okay, everybody is disembarking because we got stuck there. Alright, there we go. Now we're rolling. There's a smart guy. Bicycle. Only way to go. Okay, let's go onward. Looks like MacArthur's pretty busy today. Christmas rush. I wanted to show you what a festival looks like in the Philippines during the daytime. See all the activity? Nothing happens out in the sunshine. It'll only be tonight. Maybe we'll come back by here. Be very quiet. Hey, you know what? The Wheel of Death looks pretty good today. Looks like it's all repainted. We've been on this thing sometimes when it is really rusty. And there are some holes in the metal. You can almost visualize this thing freewheeling down MacArthur Highway. But today, it looks freshly painted. So maybe we'll take a spin. But not till the sun goes down. Not in the Philippines.